Hey everyone, it's Phil Key from Natal Films. Welcome, thanks for tuning in. So, how to deal with a smear campaign when you have walked away from unpaid work. I'm seeing a lot of casting calls getting reposted, and very unprofessionally, the director or the producer or the person doing the casting slagging off people that have walked away from unpaid work. So, what is a smear campaign to begin with? Well, the clue's in the title. They smear you, they lie, they exaggerate, they manipulate. I've had it done to me before. This is why I don't do unpaid work anymore most of the time. I have been victim to a smear campaign. They're horrible. So how does it process? So for me personally, I have walked away from unpaid work. I have been on set and I've basically said, you know what? I don't like the way I'm being spoken to, by the way I'm being treated. I'm going to take my equipment and walk away. And unless you are that person in the moment on the set, you don't see it through other people's eyes for a reason. Now, when you're on set and you've got a group of people and your name's being smeared, and you decide, like I have, to either as the cast to walk away, go home, or as the crew member to pack up your equipment and walk away, other people might look around thinking, oh, I can't believe they're doing this. Well, those people need to watch this podcast, because this is why I did what I did, and this is why other people do what they did. When you take on board unpaid work, you are assigning yourself to lose money straight away out of your own pocket. That's what it is. Now, I'm not going to say it is or it isn't an opportunity, because ultimately you don't know where the project could go. But is it looked up? Is it looked at, in a serious manner or in a professional manner? No, because it's unpaid work. There is no legal responsibility. There is no deadline. There is no contracts involved. It's very much sort of a laid back atmosphere. They know there is no pressure. Now, when you are on a set and you are trying to help out for free, you are using your own time, your own energy, and you make suggestions of ideas that can be put forward and they are thrown back in your face. That's one sign that you're working with someone who basically is not worth working with. Then it might be that you have an emergency call from your family, someone's being rushed somewhere to hospital, or you just need to get home ASAP. You will either get one of two reactions. It will either be no problem, thank you for your help, thank you for your time. When you can come back, if you can come back, please do, we greatly appreciate your support. Or, well, this is the reaction I got anyway. Well, we're halfway through filming this scene, can't you wait just 10 more minutes and then you can go, because we need the camera. When you come across people like that, walk away straight away. Now, people might think, oh, but it only takes just 10 more minutes to film that. Right, okay then. So just going to remind people of the ground rules for unpaid work. It's unpaid, you are not committed, you are not dedicated, there is no contract, there is no obligation from you. You don't need to be reliable for it because it's unpaid. And I think the people who take you on need a reminder of that. You are not obliged to say yes or no. You are not obliged to stay. You are not obliged to work overtime. You're not obliged to do night shifts. You're not obliged to do anything because it's unpaid. But of course, people who put out unpaid work, they don't say it like that. They're entitled, obnoxious, selfish, self-righteous. They can be manipulative. They can be quite toxic. They can be passive-aggressive. I've been on film shoots before, and it's happened to me personally, where I have basically turned around and said, I don't like the way I'm being spoken to, or I don't like the way you're treating me, by the way. If this doesn't change, if this, doesn't, calm down a bit, I'm going to walk away. The reply I get, oh, that's when the smear campaign is launched. Now, why do they do a smear campaign? It's to basically do undue influence on other people and how they perceive you. So I'll give a very good example. I did a film project in Hartlepool, and I didn't like the way the director was treating the rest of the cast and the crew, didn't like it at all. And eventually I decided I'd had enough and I decided to leave. I went to get my laptop and a firework was lit. People acted like, I was causing a problem because the director, the selfish person, was putting the spotlight on me. Oh, Philip, you're so selfish. How dare you take the laptop? We are using that. You need to remind yourself when you are walking away that you are doing it for your own mental health. You don't owe these people anything. You are not obliged to stay. You are not under contract to stay, and it is your equipment and you can leave with it. They can't stop you. They will try, but they can't. And then how do they use that against you? Even though you're doing the right thing by just walking away for your own mental health sake, how do they use that against you? They'll try and gaslight the situation. You're overreacting, you're being over emotional, or you're acting like a child, you're being unprofessional. If you were genuinely professional, you wouldn't do this. You would stay and let us use your equipment. People don't see it as being your equipment. They see it as being theirs. And then when you go to take away their power, they throw a smear campaign at you. They will go to cast members in different rooms, slag you off to them very discreetly and subtly. They will make the atmosphere a silent atmosphere. They'll make it toxic and awkward to be in. Walk away. With a smear campaign, they will do what they can to build themselves a little army of gossipers. So then, when they say something, the gossipers will carry it on. You will then possibly, like I have in the past, have these people who gossip come up to you, or is this true? Is that true? Why did you say this? Apparently you said that. Apparently you did this. Apparently you did that. The best response you can give is, I don't know what you have been told, and I don't care what you have been told. I was there. I remember what happened. I made my choice. That's it. Do not go into explanation. Do not defend or say anything. Just say, this is what I did. I don't care if you agree with it or not. And this is how I am going to be moving forward. People, when you say that to them, they immediately shut down. They're disarmed because they don't know how to say anything back. They don't know what to say back. It might go through the head, or, oh, what happened? And it's like, I've moved on. With a smear campaign, you've got to make sure that you don't give any ammunition back. So even if they go on Facebook and they make a post naming you and slagging you off, screenshot it as proof of what they did and put it to one side for future reference if you have to. Don't respond to it. Block them if you have to. If anyone starts messaging you, just say, not getting involved with it, not talking about it. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me in person. Be very careful if you mention anything about it to people through text message, because text messages can very easily be a screenshot. I've had it done to me before. Never ever take for granted that the person you are talking to will not go back and tell the person. So if you do get someone trying to strike up a conversation, fishing for gossip, basically, I normally just say to people, oh, also that's what's being said. All right, no worries. Well, if you want to believe that, that's fine. I'm going to crack on doing my editing at home. Cheers. I'll speak to you later. Don't feed it. The more you act like you don't care, the more they will see they can't hurt you because they want a reaction. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is because, as I said, I've seen quite a few casting calls on social media, on Facebook recently, where people who have walked away from unpaid work are getting slagged off. And quite frankly, it's immature, it's unprofessional, and it just shows how petty these people can be. If you are putting unpaid work out there and people come forward to do it, at least show them some bloody respect. If they want to walk away from it, that is their choice. That doesn't give you the right to try and hold a toxic power over them by naming and shaming them on social media because you didn't get your way. If you want people that badly to stay and work on your project, you're going to have to pay them. It doesn't work both ways. And people seem to forget that. People seem to think, oh, well, You know, you should be grateful for the unpaid opportunity, be grateful to make connections, be grateful to get experience. Well, you know what? I went down that road. I spent many years down that road. Was I ungrateful? No, but did I meet some very ungrateful people? Absolutely. I've met so many ungrateful people doing unpaid work that when I see unpaid work getting posted, it's like, you know what? If you want to go for it, that's fine. Don't come back on social media though, kicking off because you're 100 quid down out your own pocket money because you've been told you had to fork out for your own food at the last minute. You have to pay for your own travel costs at the last minute. Because you know what? This is why people like myself say be very careful with unpaid work. Because as fancy as it might sound on that post when you're reading it, when you get to the location, it's a completely different atmosphere to what you might be expecting. And they rely on you just saying yes to anything they want to. And the moment you think, you know what, I don't think this is right for me, I might exit the project, or straight away the manipulation, the guilt trip, all the toxic remarks they're thrown at you, because people do not like it when they have lost control over you. So what's the next step? Slag them off to as many people as they can, blacklist your name, and it is mentally exhausting and draining when it happens. It's happened to me before. With these type of people, you are seeing their true side if they launch a smear campaign against you. Just block them, delete them, walk away. If you are ever on a film set that is unpaid and you need to leave the situation, do it calmly, quietly. If any remarks are said, if anything's shouted at you, if anything, you know, just comes about whilst you're leaving, ignore it, don't acknowledge it, walk away. You might think to yourself, well, I'd rather just stay for the extra hour and then just walk away at the end because it's more peaceful. It won't be more peaceful. You'll feel the weight on your shoulders, on the back of your neck. It'll be intense. It's better for your own mental health to leave the set straight away. Obviously, there might be a mitigating circumstance. It might be the case of your ride, the person you're jumping in the car with to get a lift home, is still on the set. So in that case, it might be the case of you say, well, I'm going to stay on set, I'm going to be with this person, I'm going to stand with them, I'm going to keep them company, I'm not going anywhere else, not speaking to anyone else, or wait outside, let them finish what they need to finish, and then leave quietly. Never ever explain yourself, never ever tolerate being abused on set verbally, because ultimately, these people who do it, who are toxic in that way, they don't listen to reason. They don't listen to logic. They don't care how many miles you have travelled, how much money you have lost. In their eyes, they are the special ones, not you. And when you start saying to them, well, I wouldn't mind just having, you know, a fiver in petrol here, you know, I've been driving around doing this all day, it's killing my petrol money here. If they can't even think, oh, you know, yeah, give this person a fiver for a bit of petrol. If they don't even want to do that, it goes to show how selfish these people are. So when you do apply for unpaid work in the future, people, just bearing in mind that it might sound good, it might sound tasty, it might sound exciting, it might sound like real good experience. You won't find out if their mask will come off until you've actually jumped on board and you're in the deep end with them, because their mask will stay on as long as it can, until of course they have been told no, in which case the mask will come off and you will see them for their true colours. And when you get to that stage, it's the game of either just stay and put up with it, which I don't, or do you think, you know what, this isn't going to serve me any benefit in the long run, you're not going to help my mental health, I don't want to leave today feeling sad or feeling like I've been bullied or wound up, but what I do want to feel is that I have done the right thing for me. So I'm going to walk out that door, wish everyone all the best, no ammunition, and that's it. Takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of energy, and it's one of those moments where you might feel, you know, adrenaline pumping when it happens. You might, you know, be in fight or flight mode when it happens. If you need to get out of a situation because you know you are being exploited and being verbally abused, walk away from it if you can. Don't look back. Carry on with your day. And if they resort to social media to slag you off, again, say nothing, just block, delete. If you have to, report it to the group admins if there is any up there, and just, move on with your day and forget about it. Smear campaigns rely on oxygen. They rely on people reacting. They rely on you coming back with strong emotions, because then, I've said this, and then the person's come back, oh yeah, they're proper kicking off now, I'm making them look crazy and emotional. The calmer you are, the more doubt is placed on what is being said about you, because no one likes it when there's no reaction. It gets boring. But that's what smear campaign is designed to try and do. It's designed to get a reaction out of you, to keep the smear campaign moving. The only way to stop a smear campaign is to keep it at bay. Don't react, don't respond, walk away. It will go quieter than you think, faster than you think. Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in, and take it easy.